1. Welcome back to Nerds in the Gym podcast. I'm Marco.
I'm Brandon. And Marco is wearing sweatpants tonight to a holiday party.
Yes. Brandon told me don't get an erection. What an intro.
Oh, that's right. Hot streak is over. What's today's date, Marco?
December 15th, 2023.
You're lactose intolerant, Marco. You gonna hit that eggnog tonight?
Oh, you know I am. I love eggnog. Eggnog is great. Eggnog is so good. The problem is it is so bad for you. Do you know the ingredients to eggnog?
I think it's just eggs and cream, no?
It's egg yolks, cream, milk, and a ton of sugar.
And that meat diet you're on, your body's gonna just love that.
No,
you're gonna be.
That's carnivore, egg and milk.
Does that count?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. The sugar doesn't count, and nor does the spices, really.
You're going to fill up those sweatpants really quickly. It's going to be super awkward. You might want to wear a tighter pair of pants, Marco. Maybe wear work pants so you don't look like a fool in front of your family and friends.
It's just a Snickers bar.
Brandon Staley was fired today from the Chargers after losing 63-21 on Thursday Night Football to the Raiders, who couldn't score a touchdown on Sunday.
And you want to know what else? The Chargers basically didn't score a touchdown until garbage time.
Is that true?
Their first touchdown, they were down 49-0.
I watched the first quarter and then I turned it off. I was like, all right, two bad teams. This one's up 21-0. Game over.
Who's the Raiders quarterback?
So Justin Herbert's hurt. Broke both of his fingers, one on each hand.
I know Justin Herbert is hurt.
I didn't even catch his name because he was literally on the field for like 15 seconds because it was fumble, pick, 3 and out.
But what about the Raiders? Who's their quarterback? Because it's not Jimmy G anymore.
No, they're still rolling with O'Connell, rookie QB.
Oh, okay. But he's
to add to the list. Than Jimmy G?
Yeah.
This week he was. I think Jimmy G's better, but they needed to spark the team. I think Jimmy G's hurt again.
I don't think Patriots are getting Jimmy G back because it seems like Belichick's done.
Time will tell.
Did you hear those rumors? They think it's happening in the offseason?
I heard the Tommy Curran rumors, but my thing is just like Bill's gone up against him a few times now.
Yeah. And
proved him wrong. My thing is just like they win a couple games or there's a top prospect at whatever pick they have, they'll stick it out.
Yeah.
My thing is they're just going to drag this out until the draft. So.
Well, apparently it was after the Colts game they made the decision. And I'm like, and I think the reporter, Tommy Curran, you said, he even said
Tommy.
Like, it's
Tom E.
Yeah,
Curran.
Tommy Curran.
Sorry, you keep saying Tommy Curran like your friend.
Oh, no, not Tom E. Tom E. Curran.
Just the worst podcast.
The worst part is now I cut out all the cuts, so that pause isn't going to be in there in the full podcast.
It's just going to be you saying Tommy Curran for 2 minutes.
Tommy.
Did you read the second?
Thomas E. Curran. How about that?
Did you read the second page? They said most likely replacement is Gerard Mayo.
Yes.
You're going to go from a 6-time Super Bowl winning coach, 2-time as a coordinator, 9-time getting to the Super Bowl with Gerard Mayo, his old linebacker.
Gerard Mayo won a Super Bowl with them, right? Or 2?
2, I believe.
So, I understand, but apparently I also read Robert Kraft needs to be sold on Gerard Mayo and his plan for the offense. Because right now, Kraft's plan is to go outside of the Patriots organization.
I think that's smart. If you're going to do it, which I don't want them to do it, but if they're going to do it, get the new whiz kid. Get the new Nick Sirianni. Get the Sean McVay.
I'm not actually opposed to Gerard Mayo taking over. I don't think it's a bad idea.
You know who I want? Brian Flores. Give me Brian Flores.
Brian Flores was great.
He built that Miami defense that's humming right now.
Although he's been blacklisted now by the NFL.
He's sued over that, but he's I don't know if I think he's coaching a defense somewhere.
Oh, okay.
That's my take. Who cares? NFL's got money. Everyone sue him. Don't sue him. Don't sue me. All right, let's get some nerd news. Sorry, I was just trying to throw you off your game.
Nerd news. So Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon Part 1 finally came out.
Netflix, correct?
Yeah, the Star Wars ripoff.
How long is that?
It is 2 hours, 13 minutes. And there's reviews from 22 critics. I'm not sure if more have come in, but...
So, from the trailer, it looks amazing. Just from a theatrical...
For the first 22 reviews, though, 9%.
Ooh.
Oh,
for
yeah.
a 2-part movie?
And this is the same guy that's talking about bringing his DC universe back to Netflix.
This might be... Remember the brothers that did the Matrix movies? I think they're Wazowski brothers.
Yeah.
I might be saying it wrong. So after The Matrix, they did a bunch of high-budget movies that tanked and ended their career. This might be that. This might be that.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, is this like the end of Zack Snyder?
It could very well be.
Like, I have no idea. Like, I don't even know. It looks like IMDb, there's a 7.6 rating, but I don't know exactly like the overall consensus. On 40 reviews from critics, there is 25%. The
like
critic
really
consensus, Zack Snyder hasn't lost his visual flair, but eye candy isn't enough to offset a storyline made up of various sci-fi fantasy tropes.
Yeah, I might be skipping this one.
Yeah.
Speaking of new movies, Wonka comes out this weekend. You a Wonka guy?
I like the original one.
The 70s one you're talking about, right?
Yeah, with Gene Wilder.
Okay.
Great movie. And
that's a Thanksgiving classic.
I think we've talked about it too. Like the one scene that stands out to me to this day, I'm surprised it didn't scar me, is the scene in the tunnel.
The tunnel. It's always that tunnel scene, man.
That thing, wild scene to put in a kid's movie.
I think it did scar me a little bit because it's just like I can think of that whole scene in my head right now. Those worms.
Oh yeah,
coming out of that person's mouth. The 70s did not care.
No, it didn't. That was a great movie. The newer one, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
I liked it when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I've realized it is nowhere near the 70s one.
No, I think there's definitely a generation thing. There's a generation where that was their Wonka movie.
Yeah.
And we'll stick to it. I mean, this one visually looks awesome.
But this one isn't necessarily the same story as Charlie and Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. It's more like his origin story. Yeah, like Wonka's origin story.
So that Timothy Chalamet, charming AF. I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Not really a problem, but it's just like, okay, that maybe get me to the theater. But you know who plays the head Oompa Loompa?
Oh, is it Hugh something?
Hugh Grant.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. You were too young to remember Hugh Grant in his heyday. Hugh Grant was like the top actor in Hollywood for like 4 years.
Really?
Ask your mom.
Okay.
He did like,
Is she going to start blushing when I ask her about Hugh Grant?
Just pop over on her lap underneath the Christmas tree and go, Mother, tell me about Hugh Grant.
Should I treat her like Santa Claus, sit on her lap and be like, for Christmas, I want you to tell me about Hugh Grant?
Just say for Christmas, you want the Hugh Grant DVD box set.
Okay.
We looked it up at work the other day. I was talking with our boy Trent. That's right. I said R.
Yeah.
He did 5 movies in 1995.
Okay.
And in a world where it took more than 8 months to film a movie, that means he was busting out multiple movies at a time.
And also, the 90s weren't the best best decade for movies.
Gonna punch you right in the mouth. You were. Oh, is that why we did a remote session? Because you were afraid of the assault that would come? 1996's Batman? Titanic? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Jay and
Titanic sucks, mind you.
Whoa, I'm sorry. Only one of the top 5 grossing movies of all time. Sorry you don't like boats. But no, so anyway, so Hugh Grant was the top of the world in every rom-com. Again, very charming. And then he got canceled. He got canceled before canceling was a thing.
Really? What did he get canceled for?
He was caught with some...
Underage?
No. Women of the Night? Is that...
I don't.
Oh, you don't know.
No.
So, yes, that's what he got caught with. And he was no longer charming, and people really turned on him. So I'm glad he's getting a revival of his career.
Huh. Interesting.
Sorry if people don't know about that, and I brought it up. I think people are just more cool with that stuff now, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. You still don't know what it is, do you?
Woman of the Night?
Yeah.
Is that he got caught with men that posed as women?
No. Okay, I see what you're saying. No.
Oh.
You can just type it into Google, because I don't...
Is anything weird going to pop up?
No. It's just going to be funny. You're going to go, oh!
He got with Women of the Night TV series?
Just Google, what is Women of the Night?
Okay, what
worst podcast of all time.
Women of the Night mean? A female prostitute. Oh, that makes sense now.
And now it's just like, now when your mom goes through the logs on the router and this flags up, going to be another weird talk underneath the Christmas tree.
We're used to those around here. It's a Dina family tradition. I don't know. I don't know if I'm interested in it. I know people love Timothy Chalamet, or however you pronounce his name, but
Shamalala?
It's French.
Sacre bleu.
But I don't know. There's something weird. I don't feel like I like him as a casting for Willy Wonka. Just like I think I look too much. I want somebody like Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
Because even that, like, when I look at Johnny Depp's, I'm like, he was a terrible casting choice for Willy Wonka, in my opinion.
Well, that was an era choice.
Yeah.
They were like, let's make a dark and brooding Willy Wonka.
That is true. They should have made him more Jack Sparrow-like.
A little more animated.
Yeah.
Like I said, I never saw it. So it was a weird part when I was watching football. They did a Christmas at the movies commercial. So it was that Aquaman 2, which I think we all agree is just going to tank.
Oh, and I have news about that right now.
Talk to me, buddy.
So Jason Momoa came out, and he said he doesn't think he'll get to return as Aquaman. But he said if the audience loves it, then there's a possibility that he'll be back. But right now, I'm like, it's not looking too good.
No, because they already announced that they're recasting Aquaman, and he's going to play Lobo instead.
Yeah. Well, like, what comment is that? Like, he knows what's happening.
Did we talk about... Well, I think he's hoping that would make people go see it in theaters and then bring it back. But it even looks bad, man. Even in the trailer, it just looks like every superhero trope imaginable.
It looks like they were just like, we don't know what to do for a sequel, so let's just make the most generic superhero movie.
And plus, it took like 5 years to make. Like, people are just nothing. My question to you, did we talk about it while they were filming it? Because the story resurfaced recently when they were filming it. He showed up drunk to set, dressed as Johnny Depp to mess with Amber Heard.
Yes,
we did talk about it.
We did talk about that.
Just what a... And again, the idea that people are so against Amber Heard, they're like, you know what? That's acceptable behavior.
That's hilarious. You know, anybody else does this for somebody that didn't go on trial, and
canceled.
The person that does that gets canceled.
Well, they had Aquaman 2 without Aquaman.
Yeah.
An Amber Heard film, but
just like they had Black Panther 2 without Black Panther.
Yeah, way to bring up the
different scenarios. Different scenarios. That was a bad comparison.
Yeah, you really tried to hit a simile, and you just fell off the roof.
I fell with the metaphor.
You fell off the roof, and now you're Santa Claus. And...
speaking of sequels, we've gotten some Spider-Man 4 rumors.
Freshman year?
No, there was a freshman year thing. It got renamed.
Did it?
It has
Which makes sense. They rename them all to the time. Can I tell you the story I read because it's not news at all?
Yeah.
It goes, Disney Plus announces that Spider-Man freshman year will change names before going to Disney Plus.
Yeah, and they put out the name of it. It's now Spider-Man it's just called Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
So this is that's to separate it from the old trilogy.
Yeah.
So now this is gonna be the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. Okay, yeah. I see it.
And yeah, no, like I'll give that show a go. It's a cartoon, right?
Is it a cartoon?
I think it is.
And it's got Tom Holland or no?
That's actually a great question. I have no idea.
So I guess I should have actually read the article. I thought this was the new movie they were talking about it. So probably not then.
No. It's an animated one. It doesn't say who the voice actor is right now. Oh wait, hold on.
But they're thinking it's canon.
Hudson Thames is being Peter Parker Spider-Man. Yeah, so nobody from the actual cast. Charlie Cox is going to be Matt Murdock somehow, though.
Pretty sweet.
So they got him, but they couldn't get... Well, I guess doing... that's a recurring character, though, so bit different.
So if you ever get a chance, watch the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. It's awesome. It's got Iron Man in it. It's got the Punisher. It's got everyone in it. And it's really comic book accurate. It's really good. My thing is just like, there's been like 10 Spider-Man shows since then, and most of them are aimed for like 10 and under.
Yeah, they're like 7 to 10.
I will watch the trailer and decide if it's for me or not.
Yeah.
But in a world where they do X-Men, do another season of the 90s Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The problem is they wrote themselves into a big wall on that. They did like a multiverse in the last season.
Oh, they did?
And then they sprung forward to 2099.
Speaking of Spider-Man multiverse, so Insomniac Games, the people that make the Spider-Man games, there was a massive security breach, and somebody got into all their stuff, and it looks like they're making Spider-Verse video game.
That's pretty sweet.
According to the leaks. They're also working on Spider-Man 3, which I think was a given. But apparently they're making a brand new Spider-Man IP in a way with a Spider-Verse game.
Well, I read the actor that played Venom in the last game, the voice actor, said they probably used less than 5% of his lines for the movie.
So I actually meant to bring that up on the last podcast. I think that is also because if you watch anything when it comes to whether it's filming a show or a video game or something, there are a lot of just you record a lot but there is very little that's actually used from what you record. Because they're always trying to get different tones, see which lines fit together best. So I'm not sure if that really was like, maybe they used just 5% of those lines for the game, but maybe like if you're looking at the context of a scene, the 5% of the lines they used, those were the best like combined lines in general for what's happening.
Well, you don't want like 25-minute cutscenes too, so that could have played into it.
Yeah,
I wish she clarified it a little more.
There's obviously cut out scenes, and then there's also dialogue that's cut out because A, maybe it didn't sound as good, B, it wasn't needed. There's so many possibilities of why that stuff wasn't used, and I don't think we can just say, oh, that 5% means that the other 95% is for a full Venom game.
Right. No, I didn't take it as a full Venom game. I took it as there's a bunch of stories that ain't used.
I don't even think necessarily it's stories. I think it's just them trying to see which words and stuff go together best in the context of that to see like what makes the conversations feel better, especially for the character. Because you have this monster roaming around New York City. He can't sound like entirely like just a normal human being.
Right. So, speaking of video games, did you hear that Rockstar announced there's going to be non-playable children characters in the Grand Theft Auto game?
Yeah, we actually talked about this, that there was going to be the first child in the game like under like teenager age. But now it's confirmed that like I think NPCs are just going to be roaming around, because that initial character was going to be like I think a baby by like one of the characters in the game, but now it seems like they have legitimate just like adolescents in the game that are roaming around.
Is this a weird take by me? I don't like it.
I think it is going to make a lot of people put some very weird stuff on the internet, but...
Well, that's my thing, where it's just like, Grand Theft Auto, you're taking... Sorry, I just had to turn my space heater on. You're going on shooting sprees. Like, I don't really need to see that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well...
So unless you make the kids, like, non-touchable...
Yeah, but
like you said, the internet's a dark place, but I don't think we need...
You also saw the trailer with how there's so many people on the beach.
Yeah.
Like, that was actual in-game footage in some way. That was on either a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. People are already talking about just taking a car and just driving full speed all the way through there and taking them all out. I'm like... You can't do that with kids. Whoops, I hit my mic.
I mean, I agree with it. You can't do that with kids. Don't like that. So hopefully, like, the kids are few and far between.
Yeah.
And not touchable.
Yeah.
In any capacity. Because otherwise, man, it's going to feel no one's going to feel good about that. And if you do feel good about that, then we have some other issues to talk about.
Well, maybe this is Rockstar's way of, like, here, we're putting in some, like, world security into this. Like, if we notice somebody's going too much into that territory, the cops are going to show up to your house.
Did you hear about the Joker, the Florida Joker that was in the trailer?
He's trying to sue them
for $25 million.
No, it was started at $2 million. Now he's asking for $3 million.
Oh, maybe I combined the numbers.
Unless there's a new thing coming out, because he actually got lawyers. I know.
Right. Oh, you know the lawyers.
I have no idea. Like, the lawyers could be asking.
I'm just kidding, because you said he's got lawyers that I know.
It's
just like
no, I worded that wrong.
You're on some lawyer chat rooms.
But what's so funny about this situation is he's like, GTA, we gotta talk. One, that's not the company's name. The company's name's Rockstar. Ask Rockstar to talk to you, first of all. Two, they didn't steal your likeness. Your likeness comes from elsewhere. You stole the Joker's likeness, and now they're taking that and making fun of it.
Right. So DC should sue them.
Exactly.
But my thing is just like with that whole thing. So Lindsay Lohan tried this 2 games ago, I think.
Yeah.
And lost.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of money and lost. So my thing is I wouldn't even get lawyers. I would try and reach out to them and let me do publishing for them, publicity.
Yeah. Well,
let me do some commercials. Let me get some quick bucks.
Also, like, I understand what they're saying with, like, it looks similar, but...
Oh, it's 100% him.
Well, it's 100% based off of him, but, so, who is it? His name is... I forget his name. The guy that voiced the lead in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yep.
He was like, Rockstar knows what they're doing. He's like, they prepared for this. They changed his likeness enough so then when they go to court, they're like, that's not him. They're going to win, and they've already talked to all their lawyers and stuff about this. They have a case ready.
Oh, 100%. And my thing is like, so they're just going to crush this guy and he's going to be worse off than before. That's why I said my idea is like, hey, let me do some commercials for you. Give me the game early. I'll play it. We'll stream it. We'll be good.
Isn't this guy too? He's just getting popularity based off of this video. So he's just making money off of this.
Set up an Instagram. Set up a couple, like, just sign some copies of the game. Like, it's not, they're actually doing you a favor. My thing is like, did you see the video? So they took the trailer and every time they stole like a viral video, they put it next to it.
Yeah.
So like the girl twerking on a car, the one trying to get an alligator out of the pool, like those are all. Even the one where it's like a music festival in the with everyone on dirt bikes. Mm-hmm. That is a viral video. I didn't realize half of them were. So it's just like anyone would have that case. So it's like they're not dumb.
No, they know exactly what they're doing. And the whole point of Grand Theft Auto is that Grand Theft Auto as a series is just a parody of America. Yeah. It's just making fun of America, American culture, and everything.
That's my thing. Is like, I'm surprised they went America. I'm surprised they did Florida again, but I'm also surprised they didn't try London.
Well, they only
like that.
They only really have, ever since they left the like top-down world, they have not gone back to London. So they just do New York, Florida, and California.
Which makes sense. Those are the bigger.
And yeah,
they had their version of Vegas in one of them. I can't remember which one it was.
Vegas is a part of San Andreas, which was their California one.
Yep.
But it wasn't in the newer version of California in GTA 5.
Okay. You're right.
But I guess I should also say the New York one, it's more like New York, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do hit that bridge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just interesting. I mean, enough time has passed. That's not a big deal. Mm. Did you know Ray Liotta did the voice of the main character in Vice City?
What?
Yeah, Ray Liotta.
He just passed away, too, didn't he?
Just passed away after doing Cocaine Bear. Not because of it, but...
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I had no idea. I just replayed it recently, and I thought it was just some Italian guy.
The guys that, did Grand Theft Auto 5 are so, like, popular now. One of them had...
The characters?
Yeah, the three main characters from Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, the voice actors you're talking about.
Like, okay. The guy that played Trevor, he's got a cameo dedicated to him just, like, doing his, like, psychopath rages.
It's a dream.
But he, like, legitimately does not like talking about the role too much. I think he's playing into it more, but he's got so sick and tired because that's all people ever...
Well, it's a despicable character. It's not like, oh, you're beloved. It's just like, oh, you're an awful human being.
Yeah, but it's, like, I honestly feel like at this point in your acting career... If you are able to do a Grand Theft Auto game, do it, because it's going to probably make you more money than any other project you could do.
Well, it's just funny because actors back in the day, you would hate to have their character name screamed at them. Mm-hmm. And now for $30, you can get them to, like, shout you out in a video.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy. So, different world. But.
It is. Speaking of just actors in general, Hayden Christensen is back in the news again.
Hit me with a timeout real quick. Go back to video games and Grand Theft Auto. Did you hear that the Switch can't have it yet?
Oh, yeah.
Unless the new Switch is highly upgradable, which they don't think it is. There's no way it's coming.
Not only that,
Switch.
Grand Theft Auto 6 is not releasing on computers
PC,
at first.
Yeah.
So a Rockstar developer went into this already. He said they focus on the best-selling products at the time. Right. So they're focusing on PlayStation 5 and Xbox. Mm-hmm. Going from Xbox to PlayStation or PlayStation to Xbox is an easier port between each other. He's like, when you go to PC, he's like, we have to add so much stuff to it. That's probably going to take like a year later. GTA 5 did not release on PC until like 2 years after the initial release, or a year after.
So that's probably what they're looking at.
Yeah, and like I think it's good too, because in a way they are making sure that they're just getting the game to run on consoles first. That everybody plays. But yeah, it may never run on the Switch, honestly.
Right. My thing is like the Switch, there's rumors that it's done after this year anyways. Yeah. You'll still be able to play it and update it and everything, but the new Switch is just around the corner.
I don't even think with the new Switch they'll be able to put it on.
That's what the article I read said. It's iffy.
Well, here's two. The vast majority of people getting a Switch is not their target audience.
Right. How
many sales of GTA would they realistically get on a Switch?
I don't know. Did 5 ever go to the Switch?
No.
I know that was the 3-pack of the old games they redid. Mm-hmm. And that went to the Switch, but I think that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it. But now that 3-pack of those games... Mm-hmm. San Andreas, Vice City, and GTA 3. Mm-hmm. you can get them, all 3 of them, if you have a Netflix subscription. Allows you to just have it on your phone.
You want to ruin your phone's battery really quick?
So, like, those games have been in the App Store for years, but now it's just part of a Netflix subscription. You don't need to buy them anymore.
It's called Shredder's Revenge. It was a really big game for the Switch. It's a side-scroller, like a throwback to the 80s Turtle games. You can get that on Netflix, too. But again, same thing. You're going to have your phone plugged in and get ready for it to overheat.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you were saying our boy Hayden Christensen?
Yeah, so he is hoping to return to Star Wars again. That is the big news. But
this time as a strong female protagonist.
He's got the hairline.
2023. Not anymore.
That's true. They put the wig on.
He's got the wig.
Yeah.
He's got that wig.
But he does say that playing Anakin Skywalker again reinvigorated his interest in acting, which I think we clearly saw when he signed with an agency a couple weeks ago, right?
Right.
I'm open.
You know, you and me are the only ones clamoring for this, right?
Yeah.
You and me are going to be the only 2 in theaters for whatever rom-com he does next. Christmas in Toronto. You and me will be the only 2 in the theaters.
He should do a rom-com with the person that plays Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson.
1, sold. But 2, honestly, what he should really start doing, he should start doing those movies where there's 25 other big-name actors, and they just throw him on the poster, and he has 2 lines.
Let's do Rosario Dawson, Anakin Skywalker, or Rosario Dawson and Hayden Christensen in a rom-com. And it's about these 2, like, really nerdy people that fall in love with each other at a Comic-Con. And they bond over things like Star Wars.
2 on the nose. They're 2, my idea. They're 2 high-powered lawyers that don't have time for love. But going up against each other in trial, they learn from hate that they actually love each other. And now it's like, can they date even though they're opposing counsel? Or do they have to wait while a murder trial goes on? That's my idea.
That is good.
We're not saying which one of them is better or worse, but possible.
And then there's
I will throw your Comic-Con scene in there.
Okay, thank you.
It's not the full premise. I'm also going to need you to sign over your rights to the idea.
Okay, I'll do that.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And I actually forgot to mention this about Zack Snyder when we started off with him. I need to bring it up before I forget. So he does have a dream casting for the Rebel Moon franchise that I don't think is ever going to finish at this point with a 9% approval rating or whatever, or 25%.
If it's already made, they'll put it up.
I want you to take a guess who his dream casting is for Rebel Moon.
Ooh, Christian Bale?
It's an athlete.
Leo DiCaprio. Sorry, an athlete. Is it Tom Brady? Don't say it's Tom Brady.
No, LeBron James.
Because he just did so well with Looney Tunes. Space Jam 2.
With Space Jam 2.
That was a Super Bowl.
We're going to take the Looney Tunes out of it, and we're just going to be full sci-fi for you, bud.
That's what we need is LeBron James.
he may be the worst director right now. Like, you can't sign up anybody worse for a project right now.
But also, you know how easy it is to get LeBron James? Just ask. Yeah. He does movie cameos all the time. I'm sure he would love to be in it.
He does everything. And then moving away from that, we have some rumors that I tried saying this earlier. Rumors for Spider-Man 4 from Marvel. Apparently, they're looking at bringing Ant-Man in to make some type of appearance.
Paul Rudd's funny. He's one of the few bright spots.
Hold on one second. I can't hear a single thing you're saying. Talk again?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, you were... That was insane.
Well, when you couldn't hear me the first time, that was real. Then I started fake mouthing.
Oh, okay. All right.
So with Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, say what you want about the last movie. Like, Paul Rudd's one of the few bright spots with his new iteration of the MCU.
Yeah.
And he's funny. So just let him be funny as a sidekick.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be the main guy. But yeah, bring in Paul Rudd.
It just sucks that they're bringing him in and not Matt Murdock. Well, we don't really know that for sure, but...
My thing is, like, I think they're confused about what they're doing with Daredevil, because if you watch the Netflix series, it's very dark.
Yeah.
If you watch Spider-Man, it was serious enough because he was in court. But then if you watch She-Hulk, they turned him into a cartoon character, and he's, like, funny and zany and doesn't know how to talk to girls.
Yeah.
So I don't think they know what they want to do with that character.
Yeah. And staying on the Marvel side, we do have some information about Blade, but not the information you're thinking.
He almost quit, but didn't quit again?
Actually, there was a Blade video game being developed.
I mean, you're killing vampires. I mean, that's easy enough.
It sounds like a cool concept, but the question is, will it actually be good?
The question is, will they make it and then make it online only and then have it crash after you have to buy a bunch of upgrades that no one wants?
Is it just going to be, okay, is it going to be like one of those generic zombie survival games, but with vampires?
I think people would kill for that, because didn't the Marvel's Avengers game tank?
Yeah.
That was a quick fall from grace.
Yeah, it was.
How do you screw that up?
I don't know.
How do you screw up having all the Avengers in one game?
I think that's the problem, is there was too much.
Did that not to jump around, did that Suicide Squad game come out yet?
No,
the
not
one they
yet.
had a trailer for?
I have no idea what's happening with it.
They made a trailer for that during COVID.
Yeah, they did.
It was like Harley Quinn versus Superman or something. The two groups were going to go at it.
Yeah.
You had to kill the Justice League. Yeah, take your time.
I want game studios to take their time. Like, for me, yes, it sucks that Grand Theft Auto 6 took so long to come out. But, like, then you look at a game like Call of Duty, where they need to pump out a new Call of Duty every year. And right now, they have three main developers for Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
But something happened where they ended up wanting one of the developers to come in and make a new game for this year out of nowhere. And they were literally given 16 months to make a full game. And the game is just using recycled content. Like Call of Duty, Call of Duty is a lot of recycled content as is, which I don't really mind. But at the same time, like let them make a finished product. Let them make what they have as their vision, not just have to scramble, throw stuff together, and put it out every year.
The model I like, it's called Kakarot. It's the last Dragon Ball Z game.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is twice a year you give them $10 for the next chapter, and I think that's fair. So you're getting enough new levels for $10 where you're not spending $60 every year on a new Dragon Ball Z game.
Yeah.
And then it goes on sale, so you can get 2 for $10 or whatever. So I like that model. And then what happens is you don't have to start over. So you take your characters you already have that are maxed out, and you go to the next level.
I think Call of Duty could work in a similar way. Maybe you drop like $30 a year to get the new game. But once you go and upgrade to a new console and get the new console, you pay the full $70 for the new, like, updated edition of it.
And I think people will be okay with it. Problem is...
That's how the sports games should work, like Madden, NBA, and stuff. It is a ripoff that you go and buy a game literally with the same exact gameplay, just updated rosters.
What's crazy is Dragon Ball started in the 80s. Dragon Ball Z started in the 90s. So every time a new game comes out, you have the same story because they just redo the story from the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's like no one wants to keep buying a new game where it's just the same exact game.
Yeah.
So, because they just announced a trailer for a new Dragon Ball Z game, even though they're still making Kakarot downloadable content.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird. We're a couple weeks into Call of Duty. How did the sales go?
I think they're number 2 for the entire year so far.
After 1 month?
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Call of Duty is always like the top selling game each year, though. Like, it's
How do you like it?
So it's better than the last one, the Modern Warfare 2, but I would give it like maybe like a 5 or 6 out of 10. There's still elements about it where they push more towards the realism side for some things that I don't like. And there's also like these weird just restrictions on the class system that I don't like. Like I prefer what this class system called the Pick 10, which I'm not going to go into detail on that. That's my favorite one. But they have this system also called the Gunsmith where you put very realistic attachments on your gun, and every attachment has like a significant pro and a significant con. So it's like you're never like able to make like a fast weapon class because if you try putting fast attachments on, it jacks up your recoil to basically what's uncontrollable. But then if you put the stuff that helps with your recoil, it slows the gun down to nothing. Like you can't move. And it's just like, I remember back in the day, you had these very simple attachments where it's like, oh, you put on a quick draw grip. Just makes it so you aim down sights faster. And you can make it so you were very snappy. And it's not like that anymore. It's just, I don't feel... Call of Duty was an arcade shooter, not military sim. This one is weird because it has like half mil sim, half arcade. And it's just there's times where they clash too much and it doesn't work.
Do you feel like there's going to be a time, one of these times, it's going to tank?
Call of Duty?
Yeah.
It's tanked a couple times already, but then they get revived.
Okay. That was just my question. We can move on from video games. I was just generally
like next year though, Treyarch makes their Call of Duty. Treyarch, I love their Call of Duty. Yeah. They have not disappointed me yet. So I'm excited for theirs next year. They usually go full arcade mode, which I'm super excited for, but we can move off of video games now.
If you want. I mean, my idea is like we need some like other developers to get in the game. Yeah. I don't need a $70 game every time. Back in the day, there used to be so many games that were out. By the next year, it was half off, quarter off. But there's just not enough games. Now there's like 5 or 6 games a year that are going to set the standard. And then the rest of them aren't going to be up to snuff.
Yeah.
So no one wants to pay $70 for an okay game. Before, I'd pay $10 at the Walmart bin, get an okay game, play it for 2 months, and be happy. There's just not that level of, it's just okay.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents. But you're more of a gamer than I am.
Yeah. I played too many, actually.
So you got quite a beard going there, huh, buddy?
Beard?
That's a little bit.
It's not as long as it was a few weeks ago. I just shaved on Sunday. I do need to shave again. I'll probably shave again tomorrow.
Well, it's cool that you can finally grow facial hair. I'm thinking you go just mustache.
Me just mustache? Honest to God, the last time I went just mustache, me and my friends hung out one night. I think I was 18 years old. We hung out at my house. We had like one of our...
You and Mike?
Mike may have been there, but Trent was there. Dan was there. Noah and stuff. Anyhow... I told them I would shave everything but my mustache. And we went out to the store and had literally like females laughing at me, calling me a pedophile.
That's hilarious.
I didn't even say a word. I went in there with a mission. We're getting snacks. And people were like looking at me like, pedo.
Well, it's funny because like the mustache is still a jarring look. If you're under the age of 45... it's just a jarring look. Like, I see people in their 20s with them and it just throws me off still.
Yeah.
But no, that's my thing. Can you just do that again and just send out a Christmas card?
Should I do it for my employee spotlight picture?
So they just take your badge picture, but you could request. That'd be hilarious.
Really? They just take your badge picture?
Every time, yeah.
Dang it!
So my thing is like Christmas is a little soon, but if you take a picture for next year's Christmas card or a Valentine's Day card and send it out to everyone.
Or what I could do is I could take one and then I could always just Photoshop it back onto my face after.
Yeah, then nothing ever goes wrong with a CGI mustache either.
No, exactly.
Henry Cavill pulled it off.
We do.
All right, what's the next topic?
Well, we have news that literally just came out 9 minutes ago about Matthew Perry. So his cause of death has been revealed to be acute effects of ketamine. Factors of death included drowning, coronary artery disease, and effects of buprenorphine.
So ketamine's a horse tranquilizer, if you don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you went to school for some of this stuff. I forget.
Yeah.
So, and that's what they give people like that are going ape shit in the ER to like knock them out.
Yep.
Sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah.
But in very rare cases. So anyways, he had addiction issues forever.
Yeah, and I thought he was actually like sober.
He was, and then he wrote about. But the thing with if you're always still an addict, is their mindset. So that means he fell off the wagon. One of his ex-girlfriends came out and said she was pretty sure he was off the wagon because he posted something calling himself Matt Man, and when he was using drugs, he called himself Matt Man. So that's a shame.
Yeah, that's sad.
But also, according to his personal trainer, they played pickleball for 4 hours. So he played pickleball for 4 hours and then decided to take ketamine. Something doesn't add up.
Yeah, no.
Unfortunately, there's nothing you can really do about it.
No.
I guess he did help a lot of other people with addiction issues. So
yeah, so at least he made an impact, a positive one on some people's lives.
You're not a big Friends fan, are you?
I haven't really watched it. I watched some episodes here and there, though.
Did you watch it growing up? Like, was it on in the house?
Like, there were episodes on here and there, but it was never like, oh, we're sitting down watching it.
Okay. I was just...
Yeah. I never got too invested in it. I also have a problem, like, The Office is, like, my time period more.
Mm-hmm.
So, and, I've tried watching Friends, and it's good, but I guess... People tell me all the time, they're like, if you like The Office, you'll like this, but it doesn't hit the same as The Office.
No, I mean, that's a really poor comparison if people are saying, oh, if you like The Office, you'll like Friends.
Yeah.
It's two different types of humor.
Yeah.
Just knowing your palate, I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
It's more corny sitcom than it is.
Okay, yeah.
Laugh out loud funny. I was just curious because, like, your age growing up, it would be like your parents would have been really into it.
Yeah. And we're actually losing a sitcom after next year.
We're losing, you and me?
Yeah, we're losing one.
Which one are we losing?
Curb Your Enthusiasm is ending after 12 seasons.
Which is hilarious because they took like 5 years off before they brought it back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I haven't watched the last few seasons. I think I might rewatch. That might be my next show to rewatch.
I noticed for the later seasons, I prefer their clips better than the actual episodes as a whole.
It's one of those things just until I got your Max password. Yeah. I just wasn't going to pay $20 a month to watch Curb.
I don't blame you. Use my mom's. Oh, not my money.
Oh, yeah.
But at least somebody's using it because I don't think she is either.
I know you're not because I signed in and the last thing watching was what I was watching. So I was just like, oh,
he's not using it.
That's why. Hey, I've been watching that in-season Miami Dolphins show.
Oh, Hard Knocks.
Amazing. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to have to watch Curb. There's also another show about this, like, it's called Bookie. It's about this guy that decides he wants to be a bookie. I haven't started watching it yet, but it looks pretty good.
Huh.
All right, go ahead.
I really don't I have a lot more, but not too much more like that we could go into. What are your thoughts on cameos in all these movies and stuff?
Actor cameos or Cameo the website?
Character cameos.
Is there of what shows, I guess? Because I didn't know this was a big thing.
Like realistically, like when you're looking at Star Wars or Marvel products, like what are your thoughts like when a character makes an appearance in something that's like very small, minor role?
I just think, so it's tough to say. So like when Luke Skywalker shows up in Mandalorian,
Yeah.
excited for that.
Yeah.
But when you take a character from the second season of Mandalorian and throw him in Boba Fett, who cares?
Yes.
So if it's an old-timey character, or I think Leia makes an appearance in one of the shows, it's like, if it's old enough and established enough, yay. If not, I don't need it. Like that actor that was an X-Wing pilot that is now in every one. Like,
He's getting his own posters?
He's in every show, and it's just like, I'm happy for him. Good for him to keep finding work, but honestly, it starts throwing me out of it.
Yeah. Because James Gunn actually had something to say about this. He said it is one of the worst things about recent superhero movies. If a character is in film, they have to have a reason to be there story-wise. He's like, I don't mind actual cameos if it's a glimpse or a moment, an Easter egg. What bothers me is when they mangle an elegant story by shoehorning characters in. They aren't there because the story calls for it, but for some other reason.
I agree.
I agree too. And I do think, like, because I've seen a lot of people, they completely forget the aspect that an entire movie was terrible because they're like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah showed up. And it's like, no, that was an awesome moment, but the rest of the movie is like terrible.
I agree with you.
And then thinking about that, I was like, did James Gunn really have cameos in his Guardians of the Galaxy movies? I don't think so.
Thor? No, Thor wasn't in those. Guardians were in Thor.
Yeah. But
no, except for Sean Gunn, but that doesn't really count.
Yeah, so like you really let the characters get to become the characters without any interference from elsewhere, which I think that also helps in a way with character development for the characters the story is developed around, because if they have to utilize these other characters to help them develop, is it really their own personal development?
I think it was a straight shot at Disney, because that's what Disney does with all their shows.
Yeah.
So no, I honestly like it, but also that sounds like they wanted to make cameos in the Guardians movies, and he was like, no.
Well, because, too, I think Disney utilizes that because they know, A, leaks are going to happen, or, like, this will pull people in.
Right. Yeah. So, no, I agree with him.
Yeah.
I'm excited for his new show.
Yeah.
The Superman show he's going to do.
Yeah.
Did you know there's a Superman animated series out there?
No.
I didn't know either. I got to find where it's at. I saw a clip, and it's, like, brand new.
I'll have to look into that.
You won't.
But we're up around the 52-minute mark.
Oh, look at us go.
Yeah.
All right, bud. Yeah. I know you got your Christmas to go. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's good. I do have to go places. Be ready.
Hey,
be square.
Don't be afraid to be the center of attention at this party. Do some impression.
I should really go hard with like shots of espresso.
Make a toast. Or you got a couple options. You can either make a toast and just go on for way too long, or wait till everyone starts eating and then interrupt them to ask why no one's saying grace.
I'll do one of those.
Pick a fight. Pick a political fight, and then just try and say the opposite of what the other person's saying, even though you know nothing about what's going on.
Yeah, I'm terrible in politics, so that would be very amusing for you.
Oh, it'd be so
I'll record it.
All right, bud.
All right.
Go ahead. Send us out.
All right. We've been Nerds in the Gym podcast. I'm Marco.
I'm Brandon.
And we'll see you next week. Adios.
Peace.